Alright, so for this one, I'm going to be on the Bel Air, obviously, if you see by the thumbnail and the title, blah blah blah, whatever, you know. Be like a catch-up video, so I was also building a 1927 Model T tube chassis, like race car thing. Go on. Road course driving, time attacking, things like that. Practical, not really. It's just going to be an all-around like kind of fun machine. Just go rip it and, you know, just have a smile in it. It's old school, looks cool, I guess. Basically, there's a lot of new people here. Everybody thinks that it's just the Bel Air and Bel Air alone, but obviously this thing was being worked on way before I even got that car. A lot happened, and I kind of said it in a video, a couple videos back, where like kind of like an update or whatever. Waiting on somebody to make parts for this car. Somebody I knew had a lathe. It took like 6 months to even get anything, and it was just like really simple parts. They weren't anything like crazy. I was trying to just simplify the suspension but make it look good. And what I mean by that is pushrod suspension or cantilever suspension, however you want to call it. There's plenty names for it. I was basically just trying to make an intricate but simple pushrod suspension for this car, building everything from scratch anyways, so I figured might as well make like a cool looking suspension that also you know, you can see it function and everything like that. It's not just under the car. Plus it's just more of like a talking point, like an interest point. That took forever. I'm gonna say it right now, the parts that were made were not to the best like quality.
Bullshit?
I had a bearing housing made for my push rods to kind of pivot on. There's 2 bearings per tube, and so 1 bearing per side. One side fits, the other does not. And I don't know like how you mess that up. They're literally all the same size. You have the spec. I don't know. And I'm not gonna get into who did it, who whatever. It's just one of those things that's just like, alright, whatever, you know. And then I had subframe mounts made that were going to be very like custom but like simple round pieces that accepted the tube to go through it. Also, you know, stick a socket down in there and remove it from the top or whatever, you know, however I wanted to go about it. And it was going to all tie into the tube chassis, and that was how I was going to mount the front and rear subframe. I got 3 out of 4.
Your mama is 68. Your sister is 58, and you 5. Your mama had a baby when she was 10.
Have them for the rear, and 3 of them only arrived, and I don't know where the other one's at. So anyways, kind of waiting. I went about doing my own thing, did some CAD work, submitted it to Send Cut Send, which, by the way, Send Cut Send is a big sponsor and supporter for all the things I do. Metal fabrication or custom art, fabrication, whatever. I think of it as art. But anyways, so they're supporting this build, they're supporting the Bel Air build, they're supporting like all my little side things that I'm doing. If you guys need any sort of CAD work, CAD designs done, or you're gonna use Send Cut Send for the first time, or you're just returning back to using Send Cut Send, I'm gonna put a link down in the description. Type it in. It's gonna take you to my landing page, which is basically my partnership with Send Cut Send. And like I said, they're supporting all my builds, supporting all my ideas and everything that kind of goes with the whole program. Send Cut Send, you get 15% off of your order. And what that does is it helps me in the end. Pretty much gives them like stats like, hey, people are actually interested in what I'm doing and they're using the service because of me. Continues to let me use their service and, you know, like work with them. Got the subframe mounts all made up for the front, got the subframe mounts made up for the back, just out of 1/4 inch plate. That's how I kind of mounted everything. Mounted tubes to it kind of like how I planned, but just in a little different way. A lot more welding and bracing on the tube chassis for the 27. There's gonna kind of be like a lot of gaps as well in this video, to where how it like kind of like went from the beginning and then kind of like to the middle a little bit, and then it skips like all the way to where we are now. And the only reason for that is because I was trying to make so much progress on this car. I didn't film a lot of it, which a lot of it was just bending tube, notching tube, putting tubes in place and mirroring them. So that's what takes the longest with this stuff, is mirroring the entire chassis, like right down the middle. You got to make it for one side and then you got to make it for another side. So that's what took the longest. Anyways, I don't want to talk anymore. Well, I do, but I don't want to bore you guys because then you guys just click off the videos or whatever, and then you're like, ah, this guy's a dummy, he just talks and does stupid things. 1927 Model T Coupe. It's all steel. It's basically a skin over a tube chassis. I just always wanted to do like a race car rat rod thing. Rear end is 2018 Scion FRS. I have the diff and I have the axles, they're just not in. BMW 5-speed Zia, but it's actually out of an M Roadster, so it was actually an M badged Roadster. So yeah, that's mated to the K24A2. This one's actually imported from Japan, so it's got VTEC on the intake and the exhaust cam. Maybe you can see that, but that says RBB2. This is a really good head, a really high flowing head. Everybody wants an A2 for some reason. They're all good in my opinion, but everybody wants the A2. I happened to get this for dirt cheap before like the K-swap thing kind of took in effect and everybody K-swapped everything. There was a turbo and turbo header on this, but obviously as you can see, I'm limited by room in this current chassis, which is the new chassis that I built. I'm re-engineering everything I've already done, which is, you know, kind of whatever. The engine kind of sits off to the side a little bit, and that's just how this adapter plate by K-Power Industries is. You can see the transmission is sitting upright. It's not like tilted any odd way. It's just the engine that kind of sits off to the side, but you know, no big deal. Which in the front wheel drive cars, they were already kind of tilted anyways. Redo all the exhaust like how I'm going to, and then put the header up, and then, you know, Bob's your uncle. I have all my bits and I just need to kind of massage them and make them work a little bit. Yeah, so push rod here, coil over here, push rod here, and then coil over here directly in front of the engine. Have them lay down horizontally, perpendicular to the frame. That's how I'll mount the front suspension. They're gonna be really small coilovers for the front, very short travel, but that's gonna basically be the gist of that. Those holes right there are factory locations for the strut, or like coilover type of deal for Scion FRS. Have a push rod come through. I'm going to brace the tubing across. There's going to be a pivot point back here, and then same exact thing as the front, just a little bit different. So one coilover will come this way, and I'll kind of have like a piece of tube kind of coming across here and then kind of mount up there. Something, I got to figure it out. So coilover will mount horizontally here, and then this one will come up, and this one will be offset a little bit either to the back or to the front, and it'll be horizontally in front of or behind the other coilover on this side. So it'll kind of look like this, right? So like this, flat, but obviously this is a bird's eye view. Then you'll have it kind of like that, and they'll kind of, you know, do their thing or whatever, but I can adjust them and I can take them apart if I need to. All right, so that was kind of like a quick little update, kind of like, you know, doing the thing, bringing back the 27, although it never left. It's just been on pause for a while. Yeah, pretty much kind of itchy. Kind of sums everything up. Gonna have some progress on this thing. Gonna get some stuff done. Gonna get it welded. Gonna get it painted. Gonna get it driving. Gonna do all the things. So I'll have plenty more content coming with that. It's just a matter of how soon I can make some parts, and you know, yada yada, blah blah blah, whatevers. Anyways, if you guys can, like, subscribe, share, comment, definitely. All the interaction with the videos, it definitely kind of gets the algorithm going for YouTube, and then it kind of sends it off to other channels and other people's out there. So if you guys can, I'd appreciate it. Use my link to Send Cut Send as well. This way you guys can get 15% off your next Send Cut Send order. Love you guys. Yeah, that's about wraps it up. I will catch you guys in the next one, hopefully. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Bye.